Okay, fine, Dean. We'll give you the time of day. Oh, it's just you guys again. Unsurprising. You've always got to come nag me, huh? That's our job. All right, then. Let's make this quick. I'll answer your questions as long as you buzz up. Don't make it too quick, though. It's kind of lonely in these holding cells. But you know what I mean. Sure we do. That's your symbol, huh? Symbol of a protector. Part of who you are, right on your lapel. It's dangerous to wear your heart on your sleeve, you know? Okay. You're brave. Brave and a little foolish. Thank you? I think that was meant as a compliment. New theory! So you guys have figured it out, right? How the dry ice got in there without someone opening the door and ruining the resin. Yeah, no. Were you too pathetic to even do that much? About that. Oh! Sorry. I was so sure you guys had figured it out. It was naive to assume that I was out of the woods just yet, huh? Dean, you work at Whimsy World. Can you tell us a little about how dry ice is normally preserved there? We have a special space for it in a tiny building behind all the attractions. You keep it near Caspar's castle, right? Yeah, it's near there, in back behind all the scenery. We keep them in a couple styrofoam coolers in their own ventilated room. For obvious reasons. Styrofoam coolers. And you gotta be careful how you throw the ice away, too. You gotta let it melt safely. So it doesn't burn through like trash cans or drains or fill them up with carbon and stuff. Huh. Think it's possible that the dry ice was contained in something and it slowly burnt through? I guess it's possible. It'd have to be something that wouldn't leave a trace, though. Or the police would have found the container. We do have those bits of plastic, Godot. Ah, yeah. We did find those in the vent. Would they work? I think it can damage plastic, but burn all the way through it? Seems wrong to me. We still haven't learned all that much. The killer somehow placed the dry ice inside hours in advance. Applied resin to the doorknob. Then before it hardened, Quincy went inside. He had multiple visitors, though, didn't he? Yeah, how much would that have messed with the resin's, curing? Don't look at me! Come on, there's gotta be at least a few more answers I can pick up before the trial. What about your hearing, Dean? My hearing. I mean, I guess I can tell you about that. Here's one of the few things I'm in the know about. Yeah, fair enough. Anything else? So what happened then? It can't be normal just to lose your hearing from the fireworks show. I mean, tons of people saw the show that night, right? I'm a loner, Mr. Justice. I struck out on my own. I didn't want to be with that merry band of guests, so I cut my own path. You got closer to where the fireworks launched, yeah? Exactly. Couldn't have gotten that close, though, could you? It would have been hard to actually see the show if you were so close to the site. And we'd have the people launching the fireworks as witnesses right about right now if you were nearby. Unless you found, like, a hill right above where they launched or something. Oh, I'm sorry. I just kept my hearing. And there'd still be a rubber bullet there to get you arrested. That bullet is proof that someone is setting you up, Dean. Especially if someone had to take that thing apart to make it look like it was fired. We're going to find out who. There'll be no more false verdicts on Maya's watch. I promise. No more false verdicts? Is that really all we're going to get today? Who are we even supposed to go after in court tomorrow? There's, uncomfortable amount of unanswered questions. At least I'm fairly sure it's not our client. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. This case was supposed to be fun. This case is becoming very complex. It seems like we're missing one of the parties here. This AL. Who the frig is AL? Well, AL isn't on this list. Now it's just getting, well, messy? Most cases tend to get messy, I'm afraid. But we'll get the fearsome little security guard out of this, don't worry. That's a guarantee, from me to you. And I never break promises, that's one of my rules. As for the rest, well, we'll see. Right. Now the three of you should go get some rest. It's been a long day. I'll see you all in court tomorrow. Oh, okay, that's all the investigation we're getting. Yes, sir. We're getting right to it, then. Fair enough. I have no idea where this is going to go in court today. There's got to be something I can come up with in all this evidence. Come on, think, Justice. Can't I at least have a theory ready before we go into court? So we're getting Sai testifying again. And from there, who knows what the fuck we're getting? Legitimately, I have no clue. Kid, you're starting to give the evidence the same bug-eyed look you use for staring down witnesses. I don't think a few pieces of paper have any tells for you to spot. Can we spot the tells on this shit? 8.6, 12.8, 6-inch, 18-inch, 12.12. There's some kind of bizarre cipher. I don't know what to make of any of this. I know that. You guys are probably just gonna end up improvising it anyway. They are? Oh, don't worry, Dean. They're improv masters. I trusted them to defend Pearly, after all. Technically just me. One changed themselves at the technicality. Oh, why are you upset we didn't invite you to save Pearly? To be fair, I tried. It's okay, Mr. Godot. I don't mind. I could have done without the apology, Pearl. That just makes it sting even more. I take it I'm not intruding on anything important. Ah, I got my voice guess right this time. Oh, Mr. DeBest. It's right that the prosecution themselves walk into the lion's den. Are we really cool enough to be lions? Most of us. Yeah, this is a little unusual. My apologies. No, you're most welcome. Come, please. But I, figured there was a certain piece of info you all should know about. Is he alright? Listen to the recordings I got from Mr. Quincy yesterday. No way! Did he leave some sort of secret for us? I wish that's what it was. Turns out the fact I have these recordings at all is lucky, I think. He was working on them, very close to the moment of his death. The files gave me timestamps for when he last worked on them. Thought it might be interesting, that's all. Especially since you asked to hear more about the victim's meetings with our witnesses. Oh, righty. Oh, we'll just wait for it to actually get in. Oh, thank you. Now it's in the court record. Cell phone recordings. Most of these are useless to you, but you said you were desperate for a lead. Didn't find much related to your incident that wasn't already accessible in the voicemail. 8:43 p.m., 8:55 p.m. Transceiver recordings. I'm not sure if these will help your search. These are some juicy tidbits. Just imagine what chaos you could cause if this gets out. 9:28, 9:38, 9:48. 9:56, 10:03. I don't know what to make of this info. So Quincy died 11:32. Quincy died 11:32. The meetups were 2 in the afternoon. And this was being worked on 8, 9, 10 p.m. Then there's a gap of I have no clue what we're supposed to do with this information. So there's like a gap of an hour and a half between the last time he worked on one of those files and when he died. Which means maybe that was when he first discovered something went wrong? Think nothing of it. And, Miss Faye. What's up? Just wanted to say. Never mind. Okay. I should get back to my side of the courtroom. That was weird. Yeah, what was he on about? Uh-oh, Pearl knows. Seems like those recordings might have ruffled a few cravats. Yeah, there'd be something in them that got in. Whatever evidence he got his hands on, it can't be that bad, right? I mean, it seems like it was a really important lead. Is that something to be excited about? It had something to do with a case. Mystic Maya, have you not realized? Hmm? Don't you know what case Mr. DeBest is looking into? He was looking at you just now. And yesterday, Gumshoe implied. And the recordings. They're from a cell phone and a transceiver. What? No, it couldn't be. You're just overthinking it, Pearly. Maya, don't worry about it. We should get going, right, Dean? You don't want these blockheads to arrive late to the courtroom, do you? Maya's... Oh, Maya. Pat, make sure they don't ruin my reputation now. Yeah, we'll force you guys in there if we have to. Bet you can throw a real punch, right, Dean? For sure. Well now, someone's suddenly in a rush. Hey, you know what they say, fake it till you make it. We'll arrive early and make it look like we're super prepared. Come on now, let's go. All right. We'll see you later, Pearly. Take care of her, Mr. Justice. Pearl knows what's up. Maya might know what's up, but is just refusing to accept it. Sebastian looks really disheveled in that court view. I don't know why. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Billy Dean Hart. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution? Mr. DeBest? Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Of course the prosecution is ready. Well then, go right ahead. Very well, then. Yesterday, this court learned something quite vital about the snare used to ensnare our victim. It concluded that due to the nature of the sealant used on the door, our crime had to be fully ready before the sealant was applied, or else the victim would have been able to escape. Oh, yes, that's right. That's the trial we're reconvening for. I assume you've come up with a theory that accounts for this new fact, Mr. DeBest. Well, of course. My clueless sensor is giving me strong readings on the other side of the courtroom. Hey, it's not like we're any better. In order to best demonstrate my logic, I'd like to, let's say, take a walk alongside it. Show you each point and how I got there. Oh, that sounds very nice. Did you know there's a nice forest trail not too far from here? I used to go on walks all the time down that path when I was younger. Well then, let's get a little nostalgic, Your Honor. My logic begins where else but at the crime scene itself. We need a window into what happened that day. So why not ask someone who visited the scene after it was set? I'm afraid we've already established. Words of the elder Golden Boy are as dubious as a sweet-smelling coffee. Surely I've witnessed that better suits the court's taste than that. Or do you want to give us this trial so easily? You won't fool me this time, Mr. Godot. Mr. Goldstein wasn't the only one who was scheduled to meet with that victim that day. That victim? Right. The prosecution calls Miss Molly Turing to the stand. I keep wanting to say Turing instead of turning. Sorry. Hey again. Hey to you too. Wasn't exactly looking forward to being forced back in here. But I can't say I didn't see it coming. So, what do I need to say to get this over with? Miss Turning, earlier you admitted to me that you had met Mr. Quincy in private the day of the murder. Did I? You told us too, you know. Oh, yeah. Guess so. I had a fun little meetup with Mr. Quincy that day, just like Psy Guy was scheduled too. Of course, this was before he was dead this time. Ruffles over there seems to think that dry ice and such was already set up when I swung by. Is that so? Review our timing. Billy was first, AL was second, MT was third, Molly was third, Psy was fourth. I think it's obvious that our killer knew quite a lot about Mr. Quincy's blackmail habits. Whoever this culprit was, I think it's safe to assume they'd want to set up the crime before he started any of his meetings. I suppose that makes sense. How would they know when the meeting started? Well, they were probably blackmailed pretty... I think it's safe to say that a regular blackmail victim as his would be able to figure out his general schedule. Can you testify for me too, Ruffles? I wasn't there to meet him that day. You can guess what it was like, though. You did commission some work from him, prodigy boy. Gotta know what a meeting with the victim was like. Yeah, listen to LaForge. I'd prefer if you encourage the court to hear viable testimony, Mr. Godot. Yeah, could we please get a testimony we can actually work with? Calm down, kid. Where's the fun in letting the trial go smoothly for the prosecution? I'm just gonna have to do it myself, then. Alrighty, let's see. Meeting with the blackmailer. Around the time my shift in this castle started, I made my way back to the little audio room. Old Fred was there at his work desk, headphones on, working on something. He knew I was coming. Guy saved his work and let me sit down in front of the monitors. Much as I transferred some money into his account, and I left, same as always. Just to be clear, since I think you guys care, I didn't see a hint of dry ice. Thinking back, I guess the door was a little finicky when I left, but it was nothing too unusual just yet. And that's about it. It's not a lot that's new to work with. Wait a second. No, yeah, that's it. Why am I not surprised? Hold on a moment, witness. About the whole door healing thing. The resin? Yes, that. People were going in and out. Wouldn't it mess with the hardening process? Yeah, it would. What I gathered, Fred usually left some large gaps of time between when people met with him. I don't... 110, 12, 8. Oh, I didn't actually show you this. I just noticed it myself. A collection of file names that apparently form a cipher for when Quincy met up with his blackmail victims. Wish the prosecution would just tell us these things. Love that. Oh, does this have anything to do with... Sorry, I'm looking at the... I wonder if this has something to do with this. That's a surprising amount of logic we'd be expected to figure out here. We've got to piece something together here. He didn't want anyone getting suspicious about a mass migration to some obscure location in the park. The resident was well into the hardening process when he came to see Mr. Quincy. Unless large gaps of time does not jive with the schedule that we're seeing here. Which is what's making me think that the cipher is going to translate. But that's... how does... Unless the cipher is meant to translate, like, the last... Unless those are, like, old files he hasn't touched? I'm baffled right now. Okay, I had to go back and check an old video. But, yeah. The current date in universe is October 2nd. Means these files haven't been touched for some time. Means that maybe the dates modified on them are meant to translate to... like, different times? That better spaced out the way you'd expect it to be? I don't know what to make of this. Wouldn't separating the door from the frame break it from the sealant? I think the sealant was in the door knob, not in the frame. You're right. Would mess things up a bit, huh? But hey, that's how it worked out. Still, it's strange. Come on, kid, I expect better from you than just strange. Huh? A strange detail likely means one thing. You can memorize my coffee blends, you can certainly put two and two together. Well... If Molly arrived when the resin had mostly hardened, turning the doorknob would break it up too much, right? Oh! She must have arrived early into the process. Huh, there you two go. That sorts out the time frame a bit more. There's still so many questions. Whoever met with him before Molly, probably the one who put it into practice. The fact that he was taking meetings in that time consciously throws my thought into the bin, which was that somehow he was unconscious, and the killer just put the ice in there while the victim was unconscious, door sealed, That would have been too easy. Gonna roast your words for all they're worth, or am I gonna do it for you? I think I've got it. Good. Let's make some headway then. That was a regular meeting place, correct? One of many, yeah. How did you know which one to go that day? He texted us some letters. Audio room is CCCAR. Is that really necessary? Man liked his secrets. And easy to crack ciphers. There's just a few more creative ones to him once. To remember how angry he got. You still hear him growling at me over them in my sleep. It was delightful. Cathartic. Yeah. If you say so. Hey, small victories when you're under someone's thumb like that. Old Fred. So he did have his headphones on. When I went in to meet him, yeah. Of course that could have changed. Don't know for sure. Right. Headphones this, headphones that. Getting kind of tired of hearing about them after yesterday. You are capable of more than one argument, aren't you, Mr. Justice? Just because I'm following up on a detail from yesterday doesn't make me incapable. It shows you lack confidence. So what? I'm just being thorough. Ha! You just admitted to it. No, I didn't. Mm-hmm. Good night. You done with this yet? Please, go on. Did you happen to see any details about the file he saved? Didn't matter much to me. Well, it might matter to us. It might, huh? So, any details would be nice. Is it important? Like, just answer the question, Mr. Engineer. Someone's touchy. Do you need another hardware update in the forge? Question. Okay. That file. Looked like the audio was loud to me. The audio waves went all the way up and down the screen. Makes sense since Ruffles said he amplified it. Is that it? Okay. Hold up. I think I heard a bit of it too. Did you actually? It was like a very faint hissing sound. If you focused, you could hear it. A hissing sound? Were there like snake sounds you guys used for the attraction? No snakes or anything. A hiss. One that wasn't used for the ride. It seems like our engineer could care less about the castle's audio. Not that I blame her. Maybe there's someone else we can ask about that noise. Huh. Is there anyone who might know more about the noise she heard? Do we want to have Sebastian testify? Sure, maybe. It's not who you think of, but there is one person. Take that! Sebastian? Mr. DeBest. Me? I think today you gave me the timestamps for the creation of these files. Huh? What are those? Just some audio files that the victim made shortly before he died. Now take a look at this. We all know by now that the victim liked to work in ciphers, right? I believe that this collection of files was a record of his victim's visiting times. Really? Look here, Your Honor, at the end of the file names. Huh. They just look like letters. Oh, CG. Is that one of those elite speak things my kid goes on about? Elite thing? Yes, CG, Mr. Justice. Done. Oh boy. Yes, charming game. Very good, chap. They're just initials, Your Honor. Good thinking, though. Initials? Oh, MT, Molly Turing, right? There you go, old man. My brain's not as far gone as everyone thinks it is. Of course it's not, Your Honor. Now, I want you to look at when the files were last edited. 201, 210, 212, 208. Ignoring the dates they were saved and ignoring the hour. There's one consistent thing about these numbers. They never exceed 12. 12? Oh, okay. That's the wrong thing. One, 8, 10, 12. Would make sense. 12 hours. It's a timetable, is it? Someone's getting really excited. I'm correct. This means Mr. Turning's file was assigned at 2:10. Or she met Mr. Quincy at 10 p.m. Right on the money. Yes, great. So, Mr. DeBest, you look at your recording 4 and recording 5. Okay. It's weirdly obscure, but it works out. They're just old files that he has set up perfectly, which he's probably not going to touch. And he just labels them probably in their own folder, so he can keep track of who's meeting him when. And that's more spaced out. So Billy was early. AL was at 8 p.m. Molly was at 10 p.m. And Cy was at 12. Okay, recording 4 and recording 5. 4, 5. So one of those has a hissing noise. Oh, thank you for just showing that. Ah, that's right, when Miss Turning entered. So I want to ask you, is there anything like a hissing sound in those recordings? A hissing sound. Those recordings. There's radio static. Only for a brief moment, but it can be heard in those recordings. Radio static? Uh-oh. Is that what the sound was, Miss Turning? No. No, I know radio static. It was different. It was a hissing, like, sort of like a tea kettle. Right before the hot air becomes too much for the container to hold and starts whistling. Mr. DeBest? No, there's no sound of that sort in those recordings. Miss Turning, are you sure that was the only recording he was working on? Did he have anything else open at the time? He had multiple monitors, after all. I didn't see anything else. I think we can safely say that what you heard wasn't the audio that our victim was working on. Wasn't the audio our victim was... Oh. Yeah. Antennas, I think you're right. Must come from somewhere else, then. But where? Do you have an actual theory behind the source of this noise, Defense? Well, it's certainly getting somewhere. Or was it just a polite observation? Well, the noise certainly had to come from something else. What's something else, Mr. Justice? Well, maybe it's the, Pathetic. You guys don't have the slightest idea what the sound was, do you? Billy, why are you interrupting? We'll actually be right back. In a world where we don't know who to talk to about this. No, not right now. Might be worth keeping in mind, though. Hold it! Did you guys even talk to each other? Didn't need to. We both knew what was going on. Why not make it easy? Not even a word? What am I supposed to say to the guy? Hey, bud, who's been extorting me for money? How's your day going? Yeah, I don't think so. I guess you've got a point. Hold it! We do care, thank you very much. Oh man, what do you know? A lucky guess, huh? Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it wasn't there, witness. There are plenty of obvious truth that some people just won't recognize. I wouldn't be surprised if you missed something with those bangs of yours. Calm down, Ruffles, I'm not that blind. can fix a bit of roller coaster track 60 feet into the air with this hairstyle. I can see some dry eyes. 60 feet? Roller coaster has to go higher than that, doesn't it? I'm not particularly in the mood to find out right now. It's possible you could have missed something, right? Guess so, yeah. Didn't exactly search the room over. Didn't want to be there in the first place. Let me guess. I'm explaining the finicky bit, huh? Yeah. You don't just leave breadcrumbs and expect them to be unfollowed. Nah, I knew that in the forge. So then, what exactly do you mean by finicky? Door's having a bit of a problem opening up, is all. Need a bit more force than usual. Resin was already applied by then. I'd be breaking up how it was bonded by opening the door, yada yada. My understanding, there was still a good while between when this witness left and, when our victim realized his crisis. And you were his last visitor before he died. Like I said, Freddy spaced us out to avoid suspicion. There's gotta be some hint we can find about what's really going on here. The crime really was set up in advance. This might be our best bet as to how. You know, for a testimony about being blackmailed, it really doesn't have too much of a punch to it. A punch? Yeah, something exciting. I mean, those two must have hated each other. But you can make the exchange a little less mundane, at least. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll get some sort of show later on in this trial. Show doesn't imply you're just gonna sit back and watch, right? It's okay, I won't let him. Speaking of shows that are about to happen... There's a show about to start, I have a feeling. Defendant, it's not your place to speak out right now. So what? So what? It's standard courtroom procedure. We'd devolve into even more chaos without it. Sorry, I just wanted to contribute something real quick. If you're okay with it, Your Honor? Oh, please? For manners' sake, sure. Go right ahead. Oh boy. Judge Fickle indeed. Thank you. Molly. Hey, Dean, what's up? That sound you heard, hissing like a kettle. Sounded like it was building up to something, right? Like a buildup of energy? Huh? Obviously. Yeah, something like that. Just a hunch, but I think I heard something similar earlier that day. Eh? So, I want an audience for this. What kind of audience is better than a captive audience? I'm gonna make you all sit here and listen to what I have to say. If it's alright. Well, if you have any idea what our mystery sound is, I suppose it can't hurt to hear it. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I'm gonna burst your bubble, Dean. I'm pretty sure it was dry ice. Just don't be disappointed if what you say doesn't hold up to scrutiny. The guilty don't just get away with lies in this courtroom. Possibly dry ice leaking out of the mystery container. Regard me as a guilty man all you like. I'm more than happy to play the part a while longer. Come on, Dean, give us our lead. Easily. Under the night sky. Just before 7 p.m., I'd gone off the beaten path to get away from the common rabble. Fireworks may be pretty to some, but behind those colors there's power. You gotta appreciate. Oh. Fireworks. Gotta appreciate it. Walked between spokes of the roller coaster and a bit beyond, finding a place nobody would bother me. And there was one of those hisses, just like Molly described. Then, boom! The true explosive power of fireworks, and not just some pretty colors. That sound set me reeling. I got in my ears, but my hearing was already gone. But the hiss just before. What if that's what Molly heard? That's... Mr. Hart? The fireworks? Oh, fuck. Just to get this straight, you think the fireworks are what she heard, defendant? Not the fireworks the day before this happened. Or were the fireworks even the day before it happened? Fireworks Maybe it was a firework in the fucking vent. That let loose fucking dry ice? Do you think the fireworks are what she heard, defendant? I just thought. Fireworks? Indoors? Located at a small amusement park attraction? After the show had occurred? The sound you described just sounded familiar, that's all. Do you have a problem with that? Huh? Huh? Never mind. I doubt my defense needs insignificant details like that anyway. Not worried. It's not like I wanted to contribute. Oh, I wanted to hear about it. We don't have any other theories about what the noise was, do we? I guess. Are you sure you can't elaborate a little more, Dean? But they have a point. It's not the most logical of conclusions, but the defense isn't fond of that sort of thing anyways. So if you listen to them, then your words should at least be worth some time, defendant. All right then. Square up, Dean. We're getting this shit underway. The common rabble. Typical park goers. They're so caught up in their excitement and joy, it's infectious. I was really enjoying myself. I want to feel for myself. I don't need some randos to influence me. Besides, they're only appreciating the spectacle, not the power behind it. He's trying so hard. It's almost cute. Huh. Now you know how we feel. As if we could even compare. I don't know, after you hear about 20 coffee metaphors every day, they start to lose their luster. Not on his level, at least. Sure. What you're trying to say is that you wanted to go watch the fireworks, right? Watch the fireworks. Make it sound so childish, Mr. Justice. But yeah, I wanted to go watch the fireworks. Yeah. Spoke to the roller coaster a bit beyond. Interesting. How far beyond would you say? Not too far. I could still see the outline of the roller coaster every time a firework went off. Did you pass any other particular landmarks? Not really. Wanted a spot where people would finally leave me alone, so I didn't venture near any more attractions. I suppose the people who launched our fireworks were thinking similarly. They wouldn't want any guests to stumble upon them, after all. What in particular about what she said reminds you of the sound? Well, kind of how the sound, builds? Like it's coming to an apex, getting higher and higher. But then comes the explosive force that can char you alive. But Miss Toading didn't hear any sort of explosion. Fireworks go off in a matter of seconds, Mr. Hart. She had to have been in there for at least a few minutes. She just wanted to get the whole "it can kill you" part in there somewhere. Yeah, I was just talking about the build-up before the explosion. The explosions might have not actually happened. There could have been a long fuse or something. You never know. Or maybe something stops the actual exploding bit. Yeah, that. Then, boom. 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 The firework exploded. I can't gather that much. Huh. Imagine a single rocket jetting out into thousands of tiny pieces. Like a sugar cube dropped in a hot mug of coffee, being smoldered to a fine dust. Unable to contain all the inner turmoil, it bursts apart. And? That's exactly what's gonna happen to our case if we keep wasting time on useless statements like this one. Sorry. Boom. That's enough yelling from the defense, thank you very much. Sorry, Your Honor. Boom! So the fireworks had just started to go off around them. Clever. Very clever, Mr. Justice. I'm assuming that's a yes? This was the start of the fireworks show, then you've got our hands on a pretty solid time frame. Sounds like your hearing was out for quite a while then. Yeah. People really lose their hearing for that long just due to some fireworks? Well, if he's as weak of hearing as he is weak of heart, I wouldn't be too surprised. Still, it must have been pretty close to the launch site. Even then, I've launched some small fireworks before. This happened all in the same night, right? So 7 p.m. Doesn't seem like just being close would be enough. I've never launched industrial-grade fireworks, though. This is interesting. How exactly did you know you lost your hearing? I looked up at the sky after grabbing my ears. Next firework went off and I didn't hear anything. It was actually kind of nice. Lying back and watching the fireworks without having to worry about the noise, your ears were probably still getting severely damaged being that close. The noise is a big deal. Bring on the extremes. Could have taken the loud bangs. Like, if you're around something that is damaging your hearing to the point where you can't hear, and you stay around that thing even if you can't hear, that can't be... that can't be good for you. Well, your ears clearly couldn't. Yeah. I guess it's possible that the sounds were similar. Duh. You don't think so either? It's just, doubtful that there would be a firework in that small room. Maybe it was just a sound that was, pre-recorded. Maybe one of the vents lead outside and a spare firework was lit during the night. You really don't have to bend over backwards to accommodate him, you know? But it's a little rude to just stomp all over his idea. Not when it's a bad one. We're trying to help him here, remember? Not follow false leads just to make him happy. Listen, Mai, when a mug's about to crack, you don't worry about fixing up the flavor. We got a little security guard to save. You can prop up his fragile ego later, okay? Oh, come on, you bitter old man. It doesn't hurt anything if I ask a few questions. Maybe this will be important. I'm the one doing the cross-examining here. But if you're going to insist that we're stuck doing this, at least keep Maya happy, kid. Yeah, that's an order. Oh, we actually have to find an answer here. Oh boy. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Objection! False. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Justice? Oh yeah, dramatic tension. Give me a chance. Is he now? Any second now. It's gonna be a huge turnabout. Okay, and just back up. No boom. False. Oh boy. It's going to be interesting actually trying to find an answer here. Okay, maybe there's... Maybe we present the vent here. False. Maybe not there. Objection! I'm just taking stabs in the dark right now. Objection! I feel like the point we're getting at here is that the vent was damaged by something, by the container exploding. That's why I'm focusing on the plastic bits and the vent. I don't know where to take this, though. Oh, this is completely off the wall from where I thought this was going to go, but... So we absolutely have to, Okay, so... the thought in hand here... I gotta show you this. So, a flyer detailing the attractions that Whimsy wrote with the map on the back. Kesper gathered north of the lake for the fireworks. The colors are reflected into the water. We check the map. There's the lake. Can't see my mouse cursor, but there's the lake at the bottom of this map. And Billy Dean is saying that he is, So, Billy Dean says he was up past the roller coaster. So Billy Dean is in the exact opposite direction. Objection! Just... This makes sense. But I definitely would not have remembered this, given where the... Maybe it's just me. Given what the tone of the rest of the testimony was. Although, he does state this flat out, so unless you remember that detail... Okay, I guess I shouldn't be nitpicking, I'm just dumb. This was entirely discoverable. Mr. Hart, just to be sure. Went under the roller coaster to get to where you watched the fireworks. Yeah, so? And you didn't pass any other landmarks? Would have said so if I did. Right. I'll put you in the top right corner of this map, am I right? Yeah, that seems right. But you gather the visitors with the fireworks near the lake, don't you? Ah, just reviewing. Gather the viewers around so they can see the reflections of the fireworks on the water, too. Ooh, like a double firework. Huh. Suppose you could put it like that. If that's the case, then what you said is impossible. Imagine you would have had to be pretty close to the launch site if your hearing was completely blown out. Multiple hours, no less. If you were really where you said you were, there's no way you were near the launch. Ah! I swear I heard them explode so clearly. And the hissing noise. No, you're wrong. It had to be close by. The noise was so clear. But you implied they launched them in such a way that they're reflected on the water. That'd be on the other side of the lake. That's the opposite of the direction you went. Wait, yeah, you're right. You're right. I suppose you're right. Thinking about the logic of this, it would very much be like you gather people up on one side of the lake, you launch the fireworks from the other side of the lake. What that? Yeah, if they're exploding high in the sky above the other side of the lake, it would be giving off light and being reflected in the lake, so... Did you ever actually see the employees who were launching off the fireworks? Mr. Justice, don't you know it's rude to do another man's job for him without permission? Oh no, don't like that smug grin. I have a feeling I know exactly where this is going. Mr. Hart, so far the only evidence we've had of your lost hearing was your word. And now we can't even trust that. If you can't trust a man's words, what can you trust about him? Can you even trust that he's there? Well, I would hope he's actually here. Mr. Justice, knowing what the slip-up he just made, I double dare you to look me in the eyes and tell me his sudden deafness wasn't made up from the start. Of course it's not. Ugh. It is super convenient. Just means someone targeted him. Come on, Sebastian. There's no way Dean's been lying to us. But you just proved he had to be, didn't you? Hold on now, Prodigy Boy. Let's entertain our little defense a little while longer. Why don't we? And just why should we do that? Huh. Well, we were wasting time with it to begin with. If you're going to fill a mug, don't fill it halfway. That's one of my rules. Thanks, Maya. After all, none of us honestly believed fireworks went off in that little castle in the first place, did we? Well, you and your cool rule. So the hissing sound Mr. Engineer and our soft security guard heard are one and the same. It only makes sense that he didn't hear it near the launch site. You think? Was something else? If your words are true, well, it would certainly make more sense. So what? This non-firework noise your client heard might be what Miss Turning heard. And why? Because it can't be the fireworks, and he said it might be. All you have is your client's speculation. Theory crafting is fun, Mr. Justice. But we're not gathered here for fun today. Show me an actual connection. Connection between the noise Miss Turning heard and this non-firework noise your client heard. More proof that the two noises are connected? Do I have anything like that? What do we know about the noise itself? It should be the same thing, right? I think, Justice, there just might be something. Is it dry ice? Take that! It is not dry ice. Here's what I have. And how exactly does this create a connection between what our witnesses heard? Well, you know, everything's connected if you really think about it. Huh. I mean, I guess you're right. In fact, let's see this principle in action, why don't we? Presented that bit of evidence, and it's connected to me giving you this penalty. Yikes! Sorry. More proof that the two noises are connected. The same thing. Maybe? Yes, it is! That's it! Mr. the Best? Those are the audio files when the victim died. You'd have a point here, Mr. Justice. Not exactly in the mood to listen to that sort of thing again. Thankfully, listening isn't what I had in mind. Just looking will do. Looking? I see. I don't... Boom. It's a lot of large bursts of noise like kabooms. I see. Has to do with the shape of the sound waves, doesn't it? Exactly. Now, I'm no expert, but look at the sound waves in the audio files he left us. If I'm correct, the bigger they are, the louder they sound, right? Look how big the sound waves are in this file. They're hardly even waves. They're more like big rectangles. The audio is peaked. Peaked? Peaked? The last words our deleted part had left us before he died were too loud for his program to handle. It's bad practice if you care about audio quality, that is. Let's remember he was asphyxiating. I think it's safe to say that his voice alone wasn't this loud. It was to amplify the recordings. And how exactly does this fact which, mind you, I already established. How does it connect to the noise the defendant allegedly heard? I don't know too much about the out-of-place noise that was heard. I do know one thing for sure on my client's end. Shortly after the defendant heard it, he lost his hearing. I know Mr. Quincy needed to draw attention to himself. Amplifying the audio this much is just excessive. However, the victim could barely hear. Keep it up, Paul, this was at 7 p.m. The victim still had one perfectly cordial blackmail meeting in all this. It makes perfect sense for him to try to make the recording as loud as possible. If the victim could barely hear. For the last time, the victim was under high stress. How does the timing of this make sense? Did he care that much about the audio quality of that situation? Bad practice or not, there's no time to be a stickler over small details when you're dying. Objection! He worked with the audio for this attraction, Mr. DeBest. I think it's safe to say he'd normally know it was loud enough to get people to listen. He didn't need to go that far. Objection! How does this have anything to do with Billy Dean? So what? You're expecting too much of his judgment in a situation like that. Objection! You asked for a connection and I gave you one. Objection! Well, it's not good enough. The audio file alone isn't proof the victim lost his hearing. If I may. Huh? Miss Turning? Yeah, that's me. Hi. Hi. Kinda sick of you guys shouting, so, I'm gonna get you guys to stop. Time to get shut down again. See, the audio program Quincy was hooked up with was pretty, well, normal. Before, you said audio peaking was bad practice, remember? Of course. Who are we if we can't remember our own actions? Well, that's the thing. Since it's normally something you don't want to do, programs try to stop you. What? Stop you? Don't let you clip your audio unless you specifically What? Specifically enable it. Basically, Quincy must have gone out of his way to allow it. Out of his way while he was dying. It's not like he needed to be extra loud. He knew Dean was patrolling, right? What? Wait, she's helping us? Another thing in regards to Antenna's points. Remembered how Psy Guy said Fred's headphones were off, right? Now, I'm not saying he was right about that. If he really was deaf, it makes sense. Huh? Be a reason to take them off. Assuming Mr. Goldstein was right, that is. Whether we called him out on it yesterday. I think something is wrong with your hearing. Wouldn't it be too crazy to take your headphones off to check if they had something to do with it? Yeah, that. My, I guess there's a possibility the victim lost his hearing that day, too. I guess? Did we even prove anything with regards to that? I guess we're proving that it's possible. It's a bit of evidence to suggest it, if you gotta admit. Not completely out there to suggest this noise our client and Miss Turning heard are one and the same. And just what do you think the noise is, then, Mr. Justice? Is it really relevant to what happened that day? It could be. Kaboom? Kaboom? What the fuck? He went patrolling. He went to watch the fireworks at 7, but after 10 o'clock, he got his... I'm lost. I'm sorry, I'm lost. Well then, you're the one who's made a fuss about all this. Do you want to explain to the court why this is so important? Not really. Oh, come on now. What's that look on your face for? You just got thrown a bone, didn't you? Give it those sad little puppy dog eyes and make the most of your treat. Because now's the time for thinking. It's gotta be relevant somehow if Molly heard the same noise at the crime scene. And if they're actually one and the same. Well, what do you know, kid? It's a faint hissing sound. It built up with energy. Molly said it was like a kettle before it started whistling, right? It must have ended in some kind of explosion. Mr. Hart and Quincy lost their hearing. How'd they hear the same sound if Quincy was at a completely different location? Somehow it was delayed from his turning into the victim. Do you even know of anything that could make a sound like that? I don't know. Fireworks? I'm just gonna take a stab at it. If I'm wrong... No, Hissing? Dry ice? Yeah, it's dry ice. I think there is one thing that could make a sound like that. Would it explode, though? I don't know. We'll find out next time. This is a little mental right now. Am I just dumb? It's more likely than you think.